Hello and welcome to the Happy Hippie Intuitive. My name is Nina and today I'm going to do a reading about your current situation and advice from Spirit. But before we get into the reading itself, I would like to remind you that these readings are general. So you have to take what resonates with you and leave the rest. You can find all the cards I use in the description box along with timestamps. So you quick and easy can jump straight to your reading once you have made your pick. If you are interested in the awakening process, the ascension process, channeled work, communication with angels, source energy, and those kind of things, then hop on over to my other channel called Pure Light Awakening, and that's also linked in the description box below. So, without further ado, let's get into the reading for today. You have 3 cards and 3 crystals to choose from. Number 1, 2, and 3. Now on number 1 we have a palm crystal, which is a rose quartz. On number 2 you have a raw green fluorite crystal. And on number 3 there is a mini tower, which is a smoky quartz tower. So sink into your intuition, ask your angels and guides to guide you to pick either number 1, 2 or 3. And I'll be back in a moment and I will start with number 1. Removing number 3 and number 2. Okay, number 1. So if you chose number 1 and you chose this palm crystal, which is a rose quartz, then this is the reading for you. So I will put this rose quartz up here on this side, I think, today, and it will be part of your reading. Now this card that you chose, we're going to look at last, okay? We're going to put that aside because before we look at that, I want to use some tarot cards to see your current situation and to ask Spirit then on how to maneuver that situation that you are in, or advice that they might have for you regarding whatever it is that you are bumping up against at the moment. Okay, so just shuffling a little bit. So I'm going to do a new way of reading today. Okay, I haven't done this kind of reading on my channel before, so I'm just going to change the format a little bit. You will see what I mean when we get into it. Okay, so let's look at it. So first I'm going to draw cards on the situation. Okay, those 2 popped up in the middle. Okay, so I have a middle card, normally 1 middle card and 1 on each side. And that will be your current situation. Let's just move this over here for now. Yeah, I see I have to just move this lamp maybe a little bit. It's giving a whole lot glare. There. At least that's a little bit better. It's good with light, but not so much. Yeah, I can't really do anything more about that. Okay, so let's look at the situation first. So the middle card is kind of you, and this is the situation, okay? So we have the 9 of Cups and we have the 8 of Staffs, or 8 of Wands rather. No, that's actually, isn't it 7? No, it is 8. Sorry. Okay, so my feeling is that you are now kind of reaching for what it is that you want. You are looking for that personal abundance, happiness kind of situation, and you are taking action regarding that. That's kind of where you are at right now. Now, around you in the situation, we have the 8 of Cups, and we also have the 9 of Wands. So from my perspective here, it looks like you have been needing to walk away from something because you've been hurt. And that's the situation you are in. You might be doubting that that was a good decision, or you might have been weighing back and forth. Is this what I want? But I feel like it is necessary to do, or it has been necessary to do, because you are now moving into a space where you really want to focus on your own happiness and take action on that. So that's kind of the main situation. Now I'm going to ask for 2 cards regarding the past. Okay. So it's balance and transformation that comes up in the past. So it might have been difficult for you to balance your energy or balance a relationship, or, you know, it might have been difficult for you to make the transition or make the change that was needed in order for you to find that happiness and bliss that you are seeking, okay? Now, we're also going to look at 2 cards that is future cards, okay? So I'm going to put them out there, but I'm not going to talk about them yet. But this is the way to kind of make a balance in the reading. So we're going to put 2 cards over here regarding your future. But we will talk about them after. Because first we're going to put some cards underneath your situation, which is underlying things going on that will affect your situation. Okay? So the underlying. 2 cards on that. Yeah. So it is, as I said, you might have had trouble in balancing things or in making the transformation that was necessary for you. It comes up here, the underlying is emotions. It's negative emotions. It's sadness. It's maybe failing to see the silver lining in what's going on. But it's also celebration. So it is 2 very opposite energies, and that's got very much to do with the balance. So I feel like you have been off balance quite a bit here. Now, the underlying situation can also be that you're wishing for this situation. You're wishing for celebration. You're wishing for the happy home family, everything in balance. 1111 is this card also. And you are maybe failing to see the silver lining because you see behind this person there's 2 full cups and he's focusing on the empty cups here. So that might be an underlying emotion going on with you, is that maybe your ego is dragging you down the road where you're focusing a little bit too much on what's not actually working right now. Okay? So this is the future, possibly future, if you follow Spirit's advice, and we're going to get to that, okay? Now, this is the Ace of Swords. This is new knowledge, seeing things clearly, clairvoyance, it's truth, it's victory. And it comes together with the 6 of Pentacles, which is balancing giving and receiving, balancing your energy, maybe also a beneficiary, someone who wants to help you, someone who wants to give you something. It might also be new money or surprise coming your way, a surprising gift. You know, take that as it resonates. So these are very positive cards. Gaining balance, gaining the truth, seeing things clearly, where to go, you know, all of that. But now we need to draw cards on what does then Spirit ask you to do in order for you to get there. Okay, so that's 2 cards as well. Queen of Wands. And 9 of Pentacles. Okay. The Queen of Wands is someone who is very passionate. So it's about getting into what's your passion? What are you passionate about? And also about leadership, taking the lead now in finding your passion. Because reaching your end goal here cannot be done from the perspective of the ego. It has to be done from your heart and from your passion, from your drive, from your own drive, in order to reach that richness that you are wanting to reach as well, where you have everything you need, where you're taken care of, right? But I feel like the invitation here is to see what is it that you're truly passionate about, because many of us have been taught that, you know, you're so good at this, so you have to follow down that road, or in order for you to reach that much money or earn that much money or get the job you want, you have to do this and that. And then we maybe sometimes go away from what is truly in our heart and truly in our passion. So I think that this entire reading is telling me that you need to follow your passion here, okay? You need to find that drive. What is it that wakes you? If somebody were to wake you up at 4 o'clock in the morning, what is it that you would be okay with doing then? If somebody said, okay, let's go on a hike, or if somebody said, let's go draw something, or if somebody said, let's go you know, be a salesperson, you know, to sell stuff if that's something you love. Or if somebody said, let's go play a game with the children, or let's go and teach somebody something. You know, what is it that you would be okay to be woken up to 4 a.m. in the morning? Okay, think about that. Okay, what is it that you're so passionate about that you wouldn't mind somebody waking you up 4 a.m. in the morning and say, listen, let's go and do that. So finding your passion, your true passion, and then really focusing on that. I feel like that's a big message. Well, let's ask for some more messages here. One more card from Spirit. What else can you say, Spirit? Yeah, Page of Pentacles. So new offer. So there might also be someone who's trying to give you this, who has been seeing what you are passionate about, and who wants to help you and wants to kind of push you and nudge you towards that direction. But you might be failing to see it because the underlying energy is here. Okay. And you might be focusing also a little bit too much on this end game instead of focusing on the passion in it. Okay. This can also be the card of marriage. So if what you are wanting is a relationship, you might be focusing too much on the end game, meaning the marriage, or how the marriage is going to look, how the wedding is going to look, what kind of house you're going to live in, you know, those kind of things, instead of focusing on what kind of resonance does that other person need to have in order for me to thrive, in order for me to be happy in that relationship. What is it that drives me? What is my passion? Do we have the same passions in life? You know, do we have balance when it comes to that? So that's if this is regarding a relationship, okay? Because it can be. So you have to feel into what that means for you here, okay? But that's kind of the advice from Spirit. Now let's look underneath the deck. The Tower. So there might be that you need to be kind of shook out of some sort of thinking here regarding that Five of Cups as well, in order for you to leave behind the energies that is not going to serve you in finding your passion. Okay, so let's look at the card that you chose to begin with here. Number one, watch a movie. Okay, let me just see here. Okay, so this is about self-care, okay? This is about you maybe not letting your ego focus so much on this that it just gets totally, you know, you kind of lose sight on where to go because you're kind of focusing too much on it. So what they're saying with this card is take a break, okay? Leave it for a while and get back to it later, and make sure that you take care of you, that you indulge yourself. You see, she's with the animals here. She's enjoying a cup of coffee, you know, she's enjoying watching a movie. So it's about taking care of, you know, being that person that is the loving mother, if you will, towards yourself in this situation. And take a break from everything, and then realign with your heart and your passion here, and then you will see the way out. And if you follow that advice from Spirit, then this is the outcome. You will gain this perspective. You will see things more clearly. Things will become into balance. The giving and receiving of energy or love or whatever it is that you are in need of will be balanced out, is what they say here. Okay, let us pull some mini cards as well, as we always do, you know, in our reading. So I want to do the chakra love here for you as an ending to this reading. Vulnerability. Showing vulnerability is a sign of strength. The throat chakra and sodalite. Okay. So they're also saying if this is a relationship, or you know, if this is work related or whatever it is relating, to be honest, you know, to dare to step up and tell the truth about where you want to go and what you want in life, and, you know, be true about what's in your passion. Okay, don't be afraid to show that. Creation. The flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth, and that's very much about the death card. Sacral chakra, fire agate might be a crystal for you, and sodalite might be a crystal for you there. So this is about you know, even though we have to let go of something, we have to kind of burn a bridge just towards someone or whatever, there is always something new coming in. When we let go of an old energy, there's always then that opens up for a new energy to come in. So don't be afraid if you have to leave something behind, because the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth, and that's also what the Death card is all about. Okay, underneath you have divinity. Recognize the divine in the mirror. Crown chakra and blue lace agate might be a crystal for you. So with this, they're saying, recognize also, remember who you truly are. You are a light being having a human experience, not the other way around. And recognize that as well on this journey. You know, you might want to align with your higher self as well. And maybe your spirit team or your higher self has some messages and some information for you that can help you on this road as well. You know. So that was all I had for this reading today, number 1. I hope you appreciated this little new way of doing things. I hope you're all well. Until the next time I see you. Bye. Okay, number 2. So if you picked the number 2 and you also picked this green fluorite, then this is the reading for you. So we will put it up here so it will be part of your reading. This card we're going to look at in the end today. So I'm going to put it over here underneath these cards, and we're going to pull some tarot cards to start with here. So I'm going to do a new way of reading today. You haven't seen this way of reading from me before. It is a different setup and some different questions that we ask Spirit. So we will look at that in a moment. For you, number 2. Okay, the one that just popped on out. Okay. So there are 3 cards that kind of puts, that tells me what situation or what current situation or current energies you are in. So that's number 1 card. Okay, number 2 and number 3. Okay. Okay, so from what I see here, you are in a situation where you are not sure where to go. Okay, this card, the 9 of Swords, can be where you have sleepless nights, where you're worrying about something, where you are, it could be also be anxiety for some of you. But it is a card of worry. Just a moment, I just need some water. And this card here, of course, the 5 of Swords is very much about where you have had a dispute or a little war with somebody, and someone has ended up a winner and somebody has ended up a loser. So it could be that you have hurt somebody else or that somebody else has hurt you. You also have the Knight of Wands, and that's someone who's very passionate. That can be you or it can be somebody else. So, of course, this could be regarding a relationship, whether it be a love relationship, friendship, family, work, you know, take that as it resonates. But there's somebody here who is very passionate and very fiery. It's very fiery energy around you here, or if that might also be you. So this is kind of the current situation or the current state of mind where you are worrying about something. You might be worrying also about your own health or your own energy, because you know, the wands could represent your energy field, and there could have been some struggles regarding your energy. So that might be something as well. It might be just in a dispute with somebody around you, or there might also be you as a higher self or your heart versus your ego space, versus the mind space. So you have to take this as it resonates with you, number 2. So we're going to ask for 2 cards from the past to see what has happened before this situation, okay? What has led to this situation. Okay, so that's the card of childhood or past, together with a High Priestess. Okay. Okay, so I have to say, first of all, that for some of you, this might also be your spiritual journey, that you're not sure where to go. you and your ego is struggling. You know, we want to move forward with the Knight of Wands here, but we don't know where to go. So because the High Priestess pops up. So, and you might also then be somebody who has had, you know, from childhood, that you have been seeing something from childhood. You have been, yeah, you have been in connection with spirit or the spiritual realm all your life from childhood. So that might be something for you as well. And for some of us who has experienced that, it has been difficult because we have seen things that other people haven't, and that in many cases can also be why you're ending up with anxiety, just to have that said. So that might be for some of you, okay? So we just have to, because there are many people watching, we have to read this all the ways that it's possible, and then you have to feel into what you resonate with, okay? But for others of you, it might be that this is regarding a situation that occurred early in life or in the past, okay? It can be about reminiscing or missing something in the past. It can be missing someone from the past. This might also be a representation of someone in spirit. So it might also be in a tie situation where you're really missing someone that was part of your past or part of your childhood that is now in spirit. So you can read it in that way as well. And that you are struggling to move forward because, you know, you're really missing this person and you don't know where to go. So that might be for some of you as well. For others, it might be that you are missing something from the past where things seem to be, you know, in order. It seemed to be aligned, and now it is not for some reason. Okay, so you have to take it as it resonates. We're going to put 2 cards over here that's going to represent the future, but we're not going to talk about them yet. But let's put them over there. Knight of Swords. Ace of Swords. Wow, okay. So we're going to talk about those later. Now we're going to look at the underlying things going on that you might not in your ego space or in your mind space be aware of right now. But what is underlying energies or feelings in you right now? Page of Swords. And the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, 6 of Pentacles is about balance. It's about giving and receiving. So it might be energy. It might be your energy field where you are imbalanced. Giving and receiving can, of course, be about money, as you can see in this card very much. Giving and receiving can also be about love. It can be about not feeling like you get love back from someone that you give love to. Or it can be also work where you feel like I give all this energy into it, but nothing is coming back. So it's about balancing something out here. It's coming also together with a Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords can also, it can be many things. It can be new information coming towards you, new truths. It can be the need to stand in your truth, but it can also be someone who's communicating in a little bit of a childish way, okay? That is young in their way of viewing things, okay? So for me, I feel like I believe that your ego is coming in your own way here, because the ego might be represented here in the Page of Swords, in the young way of thinking, in, you know, wanting things to be balanced, wanting, you know, to be, to receive what you give in any situation, whether it be love, money, energy, whatever. And as soon as it's imbalanced, you get into the way of thinking in the mind space or ego space. And then the ego space will tell you things that is not true. Okay. And that might be why you are in that situation and this situation right now. Okay. So it might be also because this card pops up where it is about childhood, you know. So it could be that these two together is telling me that it might be time for you to let go of letting the ego decide things. It might be time for you to look into what it is that ego is truly doing to you right now, because I feel like maybe you have been too busy to check in with your higher self, to check in with your soul space maybe, and then the ego will, you know, take that and run with it kind of, you know, and it happens to all of us. So it's not just you, it happens to everybody. But I do feel with the priestess cards comes up as well, that you do have a connection, and you do know how to get in touch with the higher self and spirit and everything. But at the moment, there is something hindering you from having that clarity, which you need. What is very positive though is that over here is 2 cards of clarity. So that's thumbs up on that. But in order for you to reach this clarity, to reach this truth, I mean, the Ace of Swords is also about triumph. It's about victory, okay? The Knight of Swords is about new information, new truths coming, and the Knight, older than the Page, comes with more knowledge, comes with more information. However, be aware, because the Knight of Swords can also be someone who comes in with drama. So don't go down that road, okay? Make sure that you kind of steer clear on that one. So now we're going to ask Spirit on cards, okay, what, Spirit, is your advice in all this situation in order to reach the triumph and the clarity, okay? So we're going to ask for some information there. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, so that's renewal of energy is what I feel here. And it comes together with 2 cards that I wanted to pop out today. One is the 4 of Pentacles, and one is the 10 of Cups. Okay. The 4 of Pentacles is where we're holding on for dear life onto something. And it very often is things we're holding on to that we kind of need to let go of. And I told you also here that this is a renewal of energy. So I feel like that's what's needed, because this, I feel, is what you are wanting to get into. It's the happy life, you know. It's the where you are balanced, where you have the rainbows, you have all the cups you need, you have everything you need. So that's kind of where you want to go, right? So it is a shift in the energies, I feel, that is needed. But let us pull one more card from Spirit advice. Yeah, Pentacles again, Ace of Pentacles. So new energy. And it can also be, for some of you, new money, new job offer, renewed health. But I do feel for many of you, this is very much regarding health, or it's regarding energy, okay? So there is a need for shifting the energies within your physical form is what I feel here, number 2. I feel like you need to feel through something that might have to do with childhood, might have to do with some trauma or anxiety. And you need to be able to receive the white light from the universe into your physical form. Allow whatever it is that is in need of being seen to be felt through. And then it will automatically be released, and then you can access even more of the white light into your physical form. So I feel like that's something you should do. You should meditate. You should set aside time to do this, so that you don't get into this energy all the time, because I feel like your ego might be pushing you away from doing this meditation, pushing you away from spending time doing what you need to do for you, and that will lead to these conflicts and this situation where you can't sleep, or where you get anxiety and those kind of things. So there is something here that's in need of letting go, of being felt through first, and then letting go in order for the new energies to come in. And I do feel like you already know how to do this, really, because of the High Priestess. But for some reason, something has come in the way, and so maybe you haven't set aside the time, maybe you feel stressed, you know, all those things, and so you haven't been able to do it. But this is the outcome. I mean, clarity will come. The triumph will come, but you need to do the work, okay? You need to be willing to do the work, okay? And oh yeah, I need to look underneath the deck. Balance, yeah, balance will be restored here. Okay, but you need to do the work in order to get there. Now, let's look at the card that you actually chose for this reading, and that is also advice on what you can do to help yourself. Abundance planning. Wow, cool. So sit down and journal, first of all. Journaling can also help you sort your thoughts, you know, sort out your thoughts, put them down on paper. And when you read it again, and you will have new eyes and you will learn something from it. So that's one thing. And also releasing emotions can be a good way through journaling. But abundance planning is also about, okay, what is it that I truly want? And then you set some goals, and you set some, you know, you put down on paper what you truly want. And then when it's first down on paper, it does something to you in your energy field as well that makes you focus more in that direction and maybe not listening to the ego space so much. So that might be something for you as well. Now we're also going to use the chakra love cards in the end for you, number 2. So let's see what you get. It's a very cute kitty in this card as well. You might be someone who loves cats. Yeah, just to have that said, just popped in. Yeah. So let's see what else Spirit has to say for you, number 2. Compassion. Resolve your conflicts with compassion. Heart chakra and jade, yeah. Opening your heart, because this, as I said, if you're too much in your ego space and not in your heart, these are the situations you're going to end up in. So be compassionate with yourself and with others, I would say with that. Strength. Strength comes from your connection to the root of your being, root chakra and smoky quartz. So, yeah. Yeah, so of course, strength is also very often the ground pillars in life. So if you're feeling like your ground pillars is off, then that's of course what you need to focus on to get imbalanced. You know, and also from childhood. I mean, do we have that secure childhood, that secure support from childhood, from our parents with us? Or do we not? And that's something to look at as well. For some of you, that might be something that you actually have to work through. If you feel like you don't have that support, then that might be something you need to work through in order to gain that strength, okay? For others of you who feel like you have that support, then use that support and ask them to support you and help you, right? You also have love underneath here. Love is a verb, so make it your most treasured action. Heart chakra and rhodonite. So there's 2 with heart chakras here. Yeah, so step into the love and the compassion. Step into your heart space. I feel like that's a big message in this entire reading, number 2. That you don't let your ego drive you down a path that you don't want to be at, okay? And feeling through some stuff. Allow yourself to be in the heart and feel what it is that you need to feel. So love is very much about what's going on with you and where they are kind of wanting and guiding you to get into now for you, okay? And this is where you want to go, right? This is the end game, and triumph will be yours, but you have to be able to, or willing to do the work first, okay? Well, that was all I had for you now, number 2. I hope that made sense. Hope you liked the reading. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Wishing you the very best. Till the next time I see ya. Bye. Okay, number 3. So if you picked number 3 and you picked this smoky quartz crystal, then this is the reading for you. I will put that up here. Now this card we're going to view later on, because we're going to start with some tarot cards today. And I have a different way of doing tarot reading today. So you haven't seen me do this kind of reading before. So I wanted to change it up a little bit and show you a different way to do a reading as well. Kind of my own design. I don't believe I've seen it done that way before, so that's kind of fun. It's just a way that I found helps me, so that's what I stuck with. Anyway, so let's see number 3, where we go today. Now we're going to pull 3 cards to begin with for your current situation. Okay, 9 of Pentacles, King of Wands, and 3 of Cups. Okay, so for some of you, I'm hearing that you are starting up on your own business, or you are considering starting up your own business. That was just something I heard, so I had to put that out there. For others of you, this is regarding if you should go into a relationship, either friendship, relationship, or work relationship with a group, okay? So this can be, of course, related in many ways. The King of Wands, however, is someone who is a leader, okay? So if you are not already a leader in some way, shape or form, I feel like maybe that is something that you are looking at doing now. Stepping into the power of you, stepping into the leader of you within you. Whether it be leading at a work, in a family, in a friendship group, or just you leading yourself through this spiritual path. It might be for some of you as well. I feel like your focus right now is very much about your own happiness, your own wealth, your own, you know, kind of finding that stability where you have everything you need. So I feel that is the main focus of this reading, and also considering friendships or a grouping or a community as well could be. Okay, let us look at or ask Spirit for 2 cards regarding the past leading up to this situation. The Queen of Cups. Yeah. And the 4 of Pentacles. So the Queen of Cups is someone who really follows their heart. Very passionate, very loving personality. It could be you, or it could be somebody else, or it could be just the energy of following your heart. You were holding back before. You know, you were, should I, shouldn't I? Should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? Should I hold on for dear life? You know, this is someone who's holding on for dear life, even though they should let go. So I feel like that's in the past, so that you have now figured out, okay, I'm not going to hold on to that anymore. I'm going to, you know, let go of that, and I'm going to choose to hold on to that instead. So I feel like that's kind of something that you have already done, and you have done it from the heart space. You have done it from the heart, so you know that this is something that you truly want, and that's something I don't want. And now you've kind of chosen who stays, who goes, kind of, and now you're moving forward, is what I feel. So let us look at 2 cards that's going to represent the future for you. Wow. But we're not going to talk about them just yet, but I'm going to just pull them out there. Beautiful. And now we're going to ask Spirit for 2 cards underneath here. This is going to represent the underlying feelings that you might not know about, or that you might not acknowledge right now, but there's underlying in you. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, okay. So this is about a heartache, and this is about feeling deceived, okay? And that might be why you decided here that, you know, I'm done with that, no longer with me, because you have been hurt and you have been feeling deceived. You've been feeling like somebody took something away from you, and that was hard. For others of you, though, the 7 of Swords can represent your ego taking something away from you, okay? Just to have that said. So you have to feel into where this resonates for you, number 3. But my overall feeling is that even if it is your own ego, or if it's somebody else's ego, or some other person or energy that you feel has hurt you or taken something away from you, you have made the decision in the past that this is no longer coming with me. I need to focus on something else now. I need to focus on my own happiness. I need to focus on what friends and what groupings, what colleagues I want to have in my life right now, because I am done with this energy. I'm done with it, okay? And if you are still in these feelings, then I would say that that's what you need to do. You need to figure out who's hurting me here, and is that worth bringing with me, or should I leave that behind now, okay? Now, in order to get here, now these 2 cards here, this is the card of, the 7 of Cups is very much the card of opportunities, but it's also the card of where is your focus, okay? Be mindful of where you focus, because you're manifesting. And the Empress is, of course, a card of growth, and a card of expressing yourself, a card of coming out of your shell, a card of kind of a pregnancy, if you will, but not maybe pregnancy as in getting pregnant and having a baby, but maybe you have a baby as in a new business or a new idea or something that's growing within you that you want to express in the future. Okay, so that's kind of the potential for you moving into, if you're willing to follow Spirit's advice, and that's what we're going to draw cards on now. See the truth for what it is. Yeah, and focus on your own happiness. So that's the main invitation from Spirit right now. Focus on the truth. Focus on what it is that's true for you, which is the Ace of Swords. And because it is about your own happiness and your own, coming to a space where you have your emotions in balance, and where you are happy in your own skin and you have all you need for you. So this reading is very much about focusing on what's best for you. We're going to ask for one last card on top here. Okay, it split, so I want just one card, Spirit. Okay, there it came. Page of Wands, yeah. So following your own passion, your drive that, you have deep within you. Oh, that light just went out. That's so strange. That has never happened before. Wow. Okay, so there is a big message for you here, I feel, number 3, since that has never happened before. I'll try and turn it back on. Oh, yeah, it's blinking now. Wow, that's so strange. Okay, I'm just going to leave that then. It's a little bit darker here, but there must be a big message in here, because following your own bliss, following your own passion, I feel is so important for you right now, number 3. And the Page of Wands is someone who comes in with new passion, new ideas, and renewed energy. So I feel like there's a big shift for you here in the energies in general. Underneath you have, yeah. So this might have been your feeling before, where you were stuck, where you didn't know where to go, where you were worrying, where you had anxiety, take it as it resonates. But, that's the underlying energy as well. So this has been a huge shift for you, I must say, number 3. Now let's look at the oracle cards that you chose, and this is also about your taking care of yourself. Make a meal. Okay, so for some of you also, you will benefit from looking at what you eat. Okay, there might be something that you're eating that you're not supposed to have. I can recommend the medical medium, Anthony Williams, to look into him if you haven't already. He gives very good advice regarding wherever you are, whatever situation you are in, and what kind of food that you should have. But also the joy of just making a meal alone or together with someone. If you're living alone, I would say make sure that you make good meals for yourself, even though you're alone. Kind of mother yourself, if you will. And if you are a couple or living together with someone, then making a meal together can be a fun thing or beautiful thing to do together, and it brings joy. So that's also something for you. So that was just a fun little message from Spirit. Let's use also some chakra love cards in the end today, number 3. Vulnerability. Showing vulnerability is a sign of strength. Throat chakra and soda light. Yeah, so don't be afraid to be honest about what you feel, even though it means you showing your vulnerability. You have to stand up for yourself now. You have to take the lead in your own life. And so you need to be honest here, okay? Underneath. No, not underneath. One more card and then we'll look underneath. Listening. If you want to be heard, learn to listen. Throat chakra and Larimar. Okay, so there might be some information that you want to pay attention to. And you have 2 throat chakras here, so there might be something from Spirit as well that they're trying to give you some information. So I would say set aside the time to meditate properly and ask them if there are some messages for you, okay? Underneath. Wow, third eye chakra. Trust your intuition. It is in contact with a higher source of knowledge, tourmaline. And that's exactly what I said. You are in contact, so there definitely might be some messages for you from Spirit, since they are pulling that card out now as well. So yeah, listening to Spirit and your higher self in this situation might definitely benefit you, number 3, okay? But this is kind of where you're headed, though. You're headed to options. You're heading to possibilities. You are emerging. You are growing. Something is going to blossom for you in the future. But there is some work to be done here before you get there, okay? If you're willing to follow Spirit's advice here, then this is kind of the outcome that they see for you, that is potentially for you, okay? So yeah, take it take it as it resonates, people. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being part of this reading today. I wish you the very best moving into this, whatever this is for you, number 3. Until the next time I see you.